Hello, everyone out there in Twitchlandia. I'm Pruitt, and this is the awesome crew of our Symbaroum game, Eyes in the Dark. Just want to give a quick shout out to Tabletop Loot, our sponsor, our love. They keep us stocked up with the dice and the whatnot and the shirts, and there's all kinds of stuff over there. If you use WebDM15, you can get 15% off of all those purchases. They're good people, so give them some love. Next up, just want to go around to cast and crew. Oh, let me change my order since Emma just bailed. She was like, screw this. So I want to get started with Kiana. How are you doing? It's been a couple weeks. Sorry about the sickness and the shooting and whatnot, the video shoot that we had. But, you know, life gets in the way sometimes. But it's good to see your face.
Life happens. I mean, it's all good. I'm super excited to be back here, though, on the channel, doing this fun Symbaroum stuff, although we left off on an interesting cliffhanger. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. If I say it enough times, it'll actually come true. But I am playing Anora, who is a sorcerer, who is a bit of an asshole. We haven't seen too much of it yet, but she is. So we'll see how she plays nice with everybody else.
We most certainly will. The man in the very elegant shawl down there at the bottom of my screen, and the eyebrows. How is it going there, Billy? How you doing, and who you playing?
It's going great. I've been looking forward to this for a while. I'm so excited. I am playing Unjala, who is a witch of the woods, and he sees things that others may not. But he also struggles maybe to see things that others see very easily. Ooh, mystery. Yeah, I'm super stoked. We left off on a cliffhanger, and I'm excited for some resolution and or death.
Well, sometimes they're one and the same. It's a 2-episode campaign. Next up, Emma, how are you doing?
I'm good, Pruitt. Here, I want to show everybody something. Just a second. Where'd he go? He's gone. There's a third cat we never talk about who lives in our house, and I was going to show everybody the third cat because he's very cute. But
Walter exists?
Walter exists. Walter, come here. Come here, kitty. Here, this is worth everybody's time because he's a good kitty. Here, Walter. Here you are.
Oh my God, he exists.
He exists.
Look at that. Look at that grumpy puss. Oh, he's got the perfect grump.
He's a real bastard.
He looks like it. I can't wait to be a bastard later. Mm.
He's a real bastard. All right, that's Walter. I'm good. That put me in the mindset to play Sweetums, who is the sweetest little boy who's in this game. And I'm drinking strawberry juice to be extra sweet. And we're going to have a good time. I did not prepare for this part of the game, Pruitt. Please move on.
You mean the first part?
Yeah, or really any of it. But, you know, it'll be good.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Well, you did a good job there. And last but certainly not least, Greg, how are you this evening, sir?
I'm ready. I'm ready, my friends. I'm ready for the system. I'm ready for your direction. I'm ready to play with all of these fantastic players. They're wonderful characters. I will be playing Kiln the Changeling, who is predominantly an archer, but also I took a burden that is going to mess me up for what's going to happen next. I can't wait. The system is brutal. He's probably going to die. I do like the lipstick, so whatever character I have next will have blue lips. Back to you, Pruitt.
That was amazing. I'm excited to get to the system as well, and I love the fact that we are starting in media res with this episode because it's fun. It'll be fun to just jump into the mechanics of combat. But to get everyone a little bit caught up, our heroes set out from Karos Fen with a peace march. Barbarians are having local trouble. The tribe being the Vashvod. And our heroes are all here for different reasons. Kiln was tasked by his iron sworn captain, those that fight the abominations in Davokar, with finding one of their own, that being a man of the name of Marrow, who was undercover with a church delegation that made a foray some 6 months prior, was the catalyst of all these troubles of late. Unjala was tasked by Mama Bani, who of the Bani Coven, who are the advisors of the Vajvode hierarchy, that being Markarian. Sweetums, who is Mama Bani's sweetest little boy, but he's just getting a little bit too big for the hut. And so it's time for him to get out and stretch his legs, both figuratively and literally. And so Sweetums was tasked with protecting Unjala, as Unjala looks into all these disturbances that have been happening to the Vajvode people here and there. There's no real person or group that seems to be behind it. There's a lot of confusion. So shedding some light on this darkness in the Davokar is of paramount importance. Honora, the sorceress, who was tasked by a frenemy, I don't know, a former colleague turned enemy turned pseudo boss.
It's Facebook status is complicated.
Exactly, it's complicated. And I lost my NPC list. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I just went blank on his name. It's all right. I think his first name was Rio. Yes, it was Rio. But he basically tasked Honora with figuring out what was going on with this person, this group, these priests. Supposedly this Mero Fortuna, who's the head of them, was with that last expedition. Just figure out what was going on. What were they looking at? What were they looking after? And so the peace march set out, but was beset by torrential rainfall. And after a small encounter with one of the forest fairies by 3 of our heroes, we were forced to make camp on a small hillock. It was enough for the majority of the group. After Sweetums helped the wagon out of the mud and had a brief conversation with Markarian, the barbarian leader, they made camp. And sometime in that night, the rain broke, and there was a massive movement in the forest. It was noticed by Kiln, and it overwhelmed him, and with a right too, because in the close wake of the flood of animals through the forest, as if they were running from something, a rage troll comes barreling through the underbrush. And so where we're setting our scene, I believe that Kiln is being cradled in Sweetum's arms in a delicate embrace, that of a baby, really, clutched to their mother's bosom. Unjala is on hand. Honora is, you were with the main host, right? Okay, so you're probably, were you near the Church of Prios delegation, the main Ambrian delegation, or the Barbarian? I know you were talking to the church people.
Probably with the main Ambrian, but like in that kind of, in between space between the Ambrians and the church. Okay,
so yeah, you would basically be kind of near the base of this hillock. So you were out of the worst part of the rain. They had tents set up for everyone. And so basically at the top of the hillock is more of the barbarian peoples, and then it kind of filters down to the Ambrian, and at the base of the hill, barely on it, is the church delegation with y'all were out kind of in the ring of trees around this hill. And when you see this troll come out, and it pretty much wakes everyone up immediately with its roar. Sweetums, you're clutching Kiln, and Unjala is right next to you, and this troll is probably about 100 feet into the underbrush, and you can barely see it just by the faintest of the moonlight that is leaking through the canopy. It's getting close to a full moon, and it's less than a week away. And so there's at least enough light for you to see what this thing is. And go ahead and give me a vigilant roll, everyone that would like to kind of basically get the situation in toto.
You roll under, yes?
Yeah, you want to roll under your vigilant.
Okay.
And there are lighting penalties, but this thing is pretty huge, so it all balances out. So just make a straight roll.
I got a 3.
Pass. I passed it.
Big failure.
Okay, Killen,
And
you're
a really big failure for me.
Yeah. Honora, you're just waking up. You know,
Yeah.
this is like literally after after high moon, well after midnight, and so most everybody was hunkered down from the rain, and so you're waking up, but there is a bustle about the camp. Kiln, you are still reeling from the effects of your whatever this vertigo that besets you sometimes, this burden that you bear.
Pruitt, I'll let you know too. Mechanically, it's a -1 to all of my rolls until the scene is over.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Man,
Back to you.
I hope it was worth it. Now, Sweetums and Unjala, y'all happen to be looking like almost the exact direction that this thing is, and what you can tell is while it's facing kind of towards you, it's not entirely, and you can definitely see it like looking around as it's screaming, and it lets out a big roar, and then it just starts sniffing like these big gusts of air in its nostrils, and it's kind of moving its head around, and almost like after about 3 or 4 of these things, it kind of locks its head and starts like picking up speed. So
it's heading towards our direction.
It's not heading towards y'all directly, kind of off to the side, but that's where the main host is. It's still a little difficult from the distance and the angle to exactly where it is, but you can tell that it was like sniffing the air, and it like you've seen animals that hunt by scent, and when they catch the scent, like they go right. And so that's what you notice is it has locked onto something, and it's starting to move forward through the brush. But it is pretty large, and it's not coming from like a trail or anything, so it's kind of tearing through. So what would y'all like to do in this opening round to get ready? And then next round we'll kind of fall into initiative. We'll start with you, Anjala.
I'll kind of lean into Sweetums. I'm not certain, but I might be allergic to that.
You feel your mouth tingling a little bit? Okay, I did too. I didn't know if it was just me.
I am at a loss for words.
Kiln, are you gonna be all right, Kiln?
Yes, thank you. Kiln will stand up and pull out his bow and try to see the troll in the middle of his tripled vision.
Yeah.
I was gonna put you up in a tree if you'd like.
I'm good for now.
Okay, that's a thing I can do if you need me to.
I am quite sure that you're capable of that.
Yeah. Feels good to be seen. Thanks.
Kiln will spare a moment to kind of do that forearm squeeze to Sweetums in appreciation, but that's about as far as he can go.
Sweetums will smile sweetly, and you'll feel his breath get just a little like shiver for a second. Oh, he's very happy that happened.
Don't you kill this one, Pruitt. You hear me?
Hey, Amy's the one that said I want to make an ogre that doesn't hit anything.
Spoilers.
What? You already said that.
Did I? I don't even remember. It's this damn strawberry juice.
Well, Sweetums needs juice time. He gets cranky.
Juice time? What? So Sweetums, yes, he was going to offer. He's gonna say then, Unjala, is there anything I can do to help you before anything happens?
Well, there's something I must do to make certain of something.
That's a lot of somethings.
Well, it's one big something.
Big somethings.
So let me lean on you for a moment as I take a lot out of me.
Yeah, so Sweetums will like widen his stance and sort of put a hip out and put his arm around you at the same time. He's gonna have the other arm just like right like on your sternum. He's gonna be ready. He's gonna cradle and hold you.
A casting spotter.
That's tender. That's tender. Just move. Okay, right there. There's fine. And he moves Sweetums' hand to like his rib cage instead of his sternum. I got a thing. About this area. I just. Okay.
Okay. I'll remember that for next time.
And then I'm ready for initiative.
Okay. Well, Kiana, as you kind of wake up to everything, what is your first? What do you do?
Probably getting up and out to see what's going on, and as soon as there's at least some sort of visual on this troll, definitely kind of starting to move not directly towards it, but kind of to the side.
Okay. Well, now that you're like up and out of the tent, if you want to give me another vigilant roll to
Yes,
kind of
please.
see if you can spot this thing, go and do that right quick.
Success with a 1. I rolled a 1.
Okay. You got a crit success.
Yes.
Okay. You look out like at a perfect moment in time, right? As you see this rage troll come like just through this shaft of moonlight in a gap in the trees, and you see his head in full, and he is you said you're between like the Ambrians and the Prios delegate, right?
Yeah.
And then up here on the hill is the barbarians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell this thing is like running towards the top of the hill, like directly. Like you can see its line of sight, but you also see like a twinkle or like a shine, a flicker of some kind of metal about its head. That's what you see.
Huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So definitely kind of moving into position, so not going to be in the direction where it's going, but
okay,
least.
Further towards the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, just basically kind of maintaining sight on it, and some distance, but getting a little closer in a better position, basically.
Gotcha. Well, you would basically be moving closer towards where these 3 rapscallions are.
Okay.
And you like as you kind of move over, you kind of like look over and you can see this giant ogre with some kind of, spiritualist or green seer or something, and then smaller individual with a bow, kind of off to the side near the small copse of trees. Looks like they were standing watch. And so that's what you see. So we're going to go with initiative, which is basically everybody give me your quick, starting with you, Unjala. You're muted, sir. I cast silence on thee.
10.
10. Alrighty. Kiln.
I rolled an 8, but it's a 9. 9.
Oh, no. I'm doing quick initiative. So just give me your actual score, your actual quick score.
Okay, yeah, it's an 8, but I do get a modifier because of everything. So
your attribute, Craig, I think is what it is. So the actual, which is 14 for you.
Yeah, your actual attribute.
Oh, the attribute itself is 14.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just doing quick initiative. So Sweetums, what's your
9?
Is a 9, and Honora
10.
All right, so Honora and Unjala, you go at the same time. So Kiln, you go first, as you see this rage troll, you can tell now, definitely after watching it move for a bit, it's heading towards the hill for sure. But it's not clear exactly where, in the group it's going to hit. But it is your turn, sir.
And it is heading with murderous intent, correct?
Oh, it is screaming and just ripping trees out of the way along the way, just tearing through underbrush. The animals of the forest are all just like an epicenter, moving away from this thing.
Okay. Well, I had to actually pause my Wang Chung that I was playing. Everybody have fun tonight. And I'm going to pull my bow, and I'm going to fire one shot using marksman.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I can put it in here. I think. Did that work? 14, but that technically would be a 15. Is it at the attribute and below?
No. You're attacking at a +7. This thing is a huge troll. Like it's a giant. Yeah. Sorry, that's my bad. I should have told you that from the get-go. Yes. So technically, then you're only attacking at a +6. That's how you want to handle it.
Sure. That's how I'll do it from now on. Yep. So that is exactly what I'll do. I will do some extra damage, and as soon as I hit it with the first strike, I mark it with Hunter's Instinct, which enables me to fire a advantage strike if I need it going forward. Cool. So let me see. Give me some damage. Oh, please, come on now. Modifiers all over the place. 7 damage, and then I get to roll an additional, I believe it is because of marksman, a D10. So give me one more, and I can. So the first time so that's 3 for a total of 10 damage, and I get to fire a second shot because I didn't move.
Nice. Okay. So that was 10 damage on that. You see it sink into his calf as he's running along. It doesn't sink as deep as you thought, but still, I mean, he obviously has thick skin. But yeah, he continues to barrel along. It doesn't even look like he recognized being hit.
That's lovely. Yeah, he'll fire again. And I think I can do it this way with just a... Oops. So, yeah. Wow. I did hit, but that's crazy. 6 damage, and then an additional D10, I believe I said before. So 7 additional damage with the second strike as he pulls back on the bow, fires off 2 quick shots. The first one striking the cap, the second one striking wherever Pruitt tells me it strikes. But throughout this entire thing, he's trying to even his breath, to catch his breath, to focus himself and draw the bleeding images of this large troll. It's fuzzy around the edges, and so he's just shooting towards the middle.
Okay. Yeah, you shoot right towards the middle and you catch him right in the side. Your first shot was a little quick, bringing the bow up, maybe. And after these 2 arrows sink in, you do notice something. Whereas he kind of ignored the first arrow, and you're sitting here like, oh crap. The second arrow sinks into his side, and you see him kind of like shaking his head, like looking at what his goal was. But he steals a glance over at you, and he looks you dead in your eyes, Kiln, as he kind of snaps the arrow off at his side. But he, after, we lost Emma.
I think her internet's dropped.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get her back. There we are. Everybody's playing these characters now. I love it. Kiana, you're now Sweetums.
Billy, the troll's now coming for you.
Yeah. Greg, did you do that? Baleful disposition.
What? What? Guys, no.
But he like looks at you, and then you see his eyes kind of like haze over a little bit, and then he turns back and continues on. And he finishes his march and makes it to the main host. As he starts moving up the hill, it looks like he's heading. Now you can tell once he reaches the main group, which a few people are now getting like spears ready, and you know, all their breach weapons. But it looks like he is heading towards the barbarian main host. It is now. We'll do Honora.
Okay. So heading towards the main host. Yeah, and Honora is not up for this troll interrupting stuff. So she is going to raise her hand as she raises her right hand as her left one goes to clutches at the necklace of crystals and bones that hang around her neck. And I would like to use a power. And I would like to use Bend Will.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to roll that, I think. But basically, yeah, that's a success with the 5 versus the 15. I can control a creature, so it only had 1 action each turn and cannot use any active abilities or powers with a successful until it succeeds a resolute test or until I break concentration.
Okay.
So you have to believe you have to do a resolute. So it's a resolute to resolute test.
So you reach out to this thing's mind, which you're like, it's a rage troll. It might be pretty difficult to maintain. But what your will bumps up against is something that is solid. It is implacable. It is impenetrable. Like this isn't, you don't reach out and hit the will of something that is enraged right now. You do know that from as you're like reaching out, and you're not,
Yeah, I'm hitting something else.
Yeah, there's definitely something else at work here.
Yeah, and I think Honora and I go back to that gleam of metal that she spotted, and she is trying to put things together.
Yeah. You. Here's the thing. Now that it has come out of the trees and it is kind of literally like this is looming over the first line of these defenders. There are torches lit and fire lit. You can definitely see there is a ring of, you're not sure if it's iron or silver, but it's catching the firelight, and it is definitely some kind of circlet or crown around its head.
Okay. Power may have failed, but I learned things.
That is true. Unjala.
So with leaning up against Sweetums, he kind of braces himself for an unseen impact, and he looks right at it and points his finger right at the rage troll and softly whispers, "Janto." And the effect that should be working is now, perfect. There we go.
All right, you gaze out as these twin beams of light that only you can see shoot out. Sweetums, you like feel Unjala like almost vibrating with energy. Like he's not moving, you just feel him like shaking you. And after he whispers these arcane words, even you kind of hear like a distortion on the air. Like you're not sure where it's coming from, but Unjala, you look out over this troll, and you see the light within. Everyone has, whether their soul is corrupted or not, they have an essence about them that which sight reveals. And you've maybe looked at a troll before in the wild, and generally they have the kind of a solid core of red, like the kind of the solid burn of their anger. And that is there. But you see these twisted black barbed wire, like rivulets running around that solid core flame and kind of bending the flame to its will. And that black cord that wraps around the core of this thing then reaches the top of the head and then goes off behind it, almost like a string or like an oxygen line for a deep sea diver, and kind of bleeds into the blackness of night and dissipates.
It is corrupted. We must break the corruption, or we have to put it down. And then the witch sight stops, and he crumbles into Sweetums' embrace, breathing heavily.
Sweetums moves his hand back to your sternum.
It takes a lot out of me. How much does it take out of me? I'll let you know in a moment. I have just added 2 temporary corruption.
Oh. No idea what you're talking about, but that does not sound pleasant.
But that was my out-of-character voice.
That was your out-of-character voice. Oh, okay. I'll make sure to disregard it next time.
Oh, thank you. And that's what he's going to do with his turn.
All right, Sweetums learned how to be meta by the second episode. It's an adventure every time. So you see this, and it has started like tearing at all the pikes and halberds and everything, and there are Ambrians in the back pulling bows and shooting them out, some of the arrows clanking off of its hide. The barbarians are rushing in with fervor. Markarian is right in the midst of the front ranks, slashing out with his great axe. And you see the Church of Prios delegation. Honora, you would notice this. They're right behind you. They're circling around kind of the back of the hillock, so that they're kind of behind the Ambrians and the barbarians and kind of shooting over at this troll. But they have done it some damage. But it is still fighting. And so we're back to the top of the initiative with Kiln.
Okay, Kiln is going to take to the nearest tree here and try to scramble as high as he can get, preferably out of troll reach, before he takes his next shot. Because if this thing does turn, it's the end. So he sees that his brother is with Sweetums, and that's basically a tree. So yeah, he needs a tree of his own. Can I move and shoot, or are you gonna?
Why don't you give me a what would it be? What would that be? Quick for scrambling up the tree, or?
Yes, and I do have acrobatics as well.
Oh, well, that will definitely help. So yeah, give me a quick to see if you can scurry up the tree.
Success.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, you'll be able to climb up enough that you think. I mean, this thing's probably around 9 feet tall. So yeah, I would say that you could climb up about 10 or 12 feet.
Yeah, as long as I'm out of swipe range. And then if you'll allow me a shot, I'll take it. If not, he'll just settle in and get ready for.
No, you can get one shot. Yeah.
Okay. That is a hit with 2, and my extra damage will be 8 total. 8 total. As he scurries up and then kind of wraps his arms around the tree as he fires the bone bow again, trying to strike this thing and bring it down, as his brother said that it would have to come down. Okay,
so whereabouts were you aiming? What were you aiming for?
Yeah, now that he's a little bit higher, he would definitely go for the articulation points. So if he could get a shoulder, if he could get an elbow, if he could get even like the neck, something to prevent it, to not fuse a joint, but inhibit a joint. Arrows against larger creatures are death by 1,000 cuts, but they can, he's looking to limit it, to kind of take out something, a joint or a weapon or something like that. So
Okay. So yeah, your arrow strikes true. You hit him just above the shoulder and the side of the neck. And once again, you see him like he's sitting there, like swiping in one particular direction. It looks like towards the barbarians again. But this arrow hits him, and again, he kind of like shakes his head and turns and looks at you. And the kind of cloudy look that was in his eyes, just kind of a general frenzied rage, like focuses on you once again. And he just kind of like, you see him absent-mindedly just grab a barbarian, and he is going to throw it at you.
damn.
Like throw the person wholly like at you. So I'm going to need a quick defense roll from you.
Oh,
This is going to be now you do have some cover from the tree, so you're only going to be at a -1 from the distance and the fact that it's an improvised weapon. So you're only going to be at a -1 on this quick roll.
okay, let me check something real quick, Pruitt, because I think my acrobatics, trying to wear password when attempting to withdraw from me. Oh, so okay. It's a special time. Quick. Yeah, that'll be a success. So I rolled an 8 and it would be a 10 total, but it would be a success.
Okay. Yeah. So you managed to duck behind the bulk of the tree as this barbarian you just feel the whole thing shudder as he slaps against the trunk of the tree where you were right next to where you were standing. And you hear bones crack in a sharp exhale, this guy's last breath. And he goes tumbling behind Sweetums and Unjala, not just in a heap. Kiana, Nora saw that. You saw him like look up at somebody in the tree and then throw him, but immediately kind of like shakes his head again and like turns and looks and just like sniffing again, and then turns and looks and immediately goes after the barbarian lines once more. So that's just kind of what you see in that exchange, and it is your turn.
Okay. I am going to keep my distance, but I'd like to tap into another power then. This time, instead of holding on to the stone that was on her necklace, she moves up to what looks like to be a very small, maybe a bird bone of some kind, and would like to use larva boil.
All right.
So the effect is, let me roll that. Nope, that's a fail by 1. Wait. I have an ability. I have, so, let me read this again. So when it says I roll against a total corruption value, am I trying to roll under that corruption value or what?
I believe so.
Okay.
For the sorcerer?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why you want your corruption as high as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to go well for me. So I think I just failed that. That's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So just roll for your temporary corruption for casting the spell. And maybe it'll be better for you next time.
Yeah, it's fine.
Are either you or Anjala close to being blighted?
No.
Are you near your corruption threshold? Okay, just keep me apprised to that. Okay. So yeah, you reach out with these arcane words.
No, that's not right. There we go. Oh, I gained 3 corruption for that. Yikes!
Well, next time you roll, maybe you'll have a better chance. That's the gamble with the sorcerer.
Yep.
Give me that corruption, baby. I can use it. I can handle it. Nobody else can.
Uh-huh. Okay, cool.
Awesome. So you reach out, and it just it doesn't seem to catch hold as hide as to, shakes the magic off. Unjala, it is your turn. As you hear other arcane words on the air.
I do want to make a mental note of where that barbed wire trail was headed into the woods, like the life support for this rage troll. And then after I've noted that, leaning up against Sweetums, he digs into a pouch and digs out some like ash, and he's going to use an ability, and that ability is tormenting spirits. So he's going to rise up almost intimidatingly and go Vesig Alagum, and then blow the ashes in the direction of the troll. And if there's any sort of concentration thing that he's doing right now, it automatically breaks concentration. But every turn after this one, if I succeed a resolute test, he has disadvantage on all of his rolls.
So you're casting this on the troll?
On the troll. The rage troll.
Okay.
Rage.
All right. So go ahead and give me that roll to cast that power.
The ability says it just happens on the first turn. It breaks concentration, but in order to maintain it, I'll roll a resolute because I'm not particularly certain of it. But every turn after this is a resolute. That's a success, and it's modified by his resolute.
Okay, yeah, that would be. Then that's going to be at a. I'm trying to think of how to mitigate this. I'll say this: if you roll that against a resolute of -3.
Okay, still a success.
Still a success for you. Okay. What you see is, like it's happened a couple times when Kiln was peppering it with arrows. You see him kind of like where he was like focused on one specific spot. He starts like shaking his head and like looking around and making wild random grabs at whoever stuck him last, right? As there's this kind of group of people like trying to get enough, find enough sand to stab at this troll in melee. But yeah, that I'll say that's what you kind of notice.
And it's tormented by spirits.
And its screaming has kind of doubled in volume, and it's not as kind of it's now just kind of screaming wildly at every cut and slash and lashing back out at it.
And that's my turn. I'm sticking with Sweetums.
Okay, Sweetums. This weird swamp guy just cast another spell and did some weird magic stuff that felt kind of funny.
It did. It's like a fun tickle. Kind of fun.
It is the magic tickle.
Yes.
It is your turn.
Okay. So remind me of the name of the guy who I met last time.
Markarian, the leader of
Yes.
the barbarian tribe, the Vajwot.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, he is right up front with his barbarian brothers with his great axe
Yes.
slashing at this thing. The barbarians have taken quite a beating since it looks like that's where this thing was focused originally. Now it's kind of now it's like lashing out all over.
Okay. I'm gonna say Unjala. I got my friend up there, and he's not my friend whom I'm supposed to help with allergies, but it sure looks like he's having a tough time, and I was wondering if it'd be okay with you if maybe went and helped him a little bit.
We can.
you can come with me, and you can stay behind me if you want. Yeah, I could fashion a sling for you on my back if that would help. Something like that.
I can follow you. Do not waste your time.
I've heard it called a papoose before. I could do that for you.
A pet
I think it's called a palpoose for your pal.
A palpoose.
That sounds like some large animal's rear end.
That's really funny. I'll have to remember that later. But
That wasn't a joke.
I'm sorry.
But I have to focus.
Okay.
Things will be more difficult for it as long as I'm able to maintain this.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go up there, and you can come with me. If you want, or you can stay here, and if it comes over here, then I'll come back.
Okay.
Okay.
I will try to keep up.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna tromp up to my barbarian friend.
Mm-hmm.
And see how is he doing.
He seems to be okay right now. It looks like maybe he caught the edge of a troll claw
Mhm.
across his shoulder. He's got you see a little blood on one shoulder, but I mean, you see one or two of his compatriots on either side of him that were just kind of like smashed, kind of flat.
Yeah. Oy. Okay. Well, I'm gonna stay there, and I'm gonna look for if he doesn't look too hurt, I'm gonna look for an opportunity to shoulder some of the burden if he needs it.
Okay. Are you just moving up into melee with this?
Yes, I'm just moving up into melee with it. I'm gonna say to my friend, "Hey, I'm here. You need help."
Oh,
Doesn't look very nice.
It's a bastard of a troll, if I ever say so myself.
I forgot he was Sean Connery. Yes.
I mean, it's got to be in there somewhere. So.
Yes. Yes, it does. In the first 3 episodes, at least.
But yeah, so he welcomes the help. So Sweet, you move up.
Mm-hmm.
We are back around to Kiln. Kiln, give me a quick vigilant.
Sure thing. Oh, that's a failure.
Failed? Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, with the fight and everything as Sweetums moves up. So you go ahead.
Okay. Speaking is still a free action, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Not knowing what Unjala's where he's headed or where he's going, not privy to the conversation, he would communicate telepathically with his brother to move back towards the tree line so he could defend him from his vantage point. Brother, behind the trees.
Oh, okay.
And if I have a shot, I'm going to take 2.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely have a shot.
Hit for 4 damage and an additional 5. So that's 9 damage with the first strike. And the second shot is a hit with 1 UG, but I get an additional 2. So a grand total of 12 damage as he fires 2 more arrows into this thing. You mentioned before, Pruitt, that it has some type of metal around its head that we saw glinting in the light. He's gonna aim for somewhere around that. He doesn't want his arrows to skip off of this, but at the same time, if he can do something to even like draw an inadvertent troll arm up to swat at a shaft or something like that, to see if he can't see if this thing's attached or what this thing is.
Okay. Well, I'll say this. Your first arrow sinks in kind of near the same spot around the neck. And then the last one, it hits, but it literally hits the crown. You hear like kind of a as the arrow kind of snaps, bouncing off of it. But what I will say is, you have once again drawn its attention. The difference being, it doesn't look away this time. Like before, where its eyes kind of refocused and it went back to its task. It looks like it looks at you with murderous intent up in this tree, and he starts like heading towards you. Like
A mental message: get away from my tree! Get away from my tree!
it is the troll's turn, and as he's moving, he kind of picks up. It looks like a rock or something and throws it. So give me another quick, and you get the same bonuses before.
Am I in the path of this?
Well, you moved up. I mean, he's like right next to you. So you would get a free attack.
No, I'm wondering if I have a thing that as a reaction I can take a hit.
Oh, yeah. I would say you're close enough as it started to move away, basically, and it's getting kind of stuck in the back.
Yes.
Kind of grabs a knot of like earth, and there's a big rock in there, and it just kind of flings it. But yeah, you can kind of just reach out and like basically deflect it.
I'm gonna get in the way of it.
Okay. Do you need to roll for that?
No, it automatically hits me.
It automatically hits you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in that case, you're gonna get hit. And so go ahead and so that's gonna be 8 damage.
What's that come out of?
So you need to roll your armor, which I believe you have light armor and master at arms.
I have master at arms. I also have magic tattoo.
Yeah, so that's you can enact that if you would like to, but you'll take a corruption for this hit, temporary corruption.
Okay.
But your armor is a D6. Your tattoo gives you a D4, and because you're robust, because you're so big, you also
get
take
another
D4. So yeah, you roll those 3 dice and add those up, and that is basically what you soak out of the 8 damage.
8.
You rolled an 8? Okay. So yeah, you just kind of like throw out one of your meaty, like bracer covered forearms and just kind of clip the rock as he's letting go of it, right? And it just bounces off. And Kiln, you see this thing like kind of fly off to the side and take a branch out next to you, as it was deflected just enough. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage, so to speak. And so
Freedom just says, please don't do that.
And the rage troll like turns and looks at you straight because it's about a foot taller than you, and kind of looks down at you and is just like, "Rah!" and just like screams in your face. And it is Anora's turn.
Cool. I did forget an ability I had, but I'm just gonna eat that 3 corruption. It's fine.
Yeah, you want more corruption anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
I have an 8 threshold, so I'm kind of just constantly.
Yeah, you're
on the edge there.
You're good. Go ahead and give me a quick vigilant roll before your action.
Cool. That's a fail. Wow. All right.
Okay. Yeah, it's just that the combat is chaotic, and so you just there's screams of the dying and rage trolls and everything. So go ahead and give me your action.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna try lava boil again because still keep me a distance. Still want to do something to it.
Okay.
That's a success. So take 1d4 damage, which will be.
Which that bypasses armor.
Yep. Because I'm making maggots come out of it.
Right. Okay.
3 points of damage that ignores armor. So I think you see her fiddling with that bone on her on the necklace, and I think she breaks it actually as she casts this spell. And yeah, I don't know where the maggots come out of it, but it will start to dig. A massive maggot starts to dig its way out of this troll.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it starts to, kind of pop out of its shoulders and arms. And anybody with whatever it's called, trypophobia, just needs to not imagine this at all, because it's kind of gross. Right now, it looks like you went to the beach and you got like a 3rd-degree burn, and now you've got the boils, like nice little pockets of water. So they haven't popped yet. So I'm gonna try to make that as gross as possible. Anyway, hey, she's the one that cast larva boil. So
Yeah. And now to go for corruption. Am I? If I remember these things correctly. MMO 20.
mm-hmm.
Don't have all day. 1. Okay. Yep. And that's it.
Okay, so there's a tinge of magic on the air as you cast this spell on the troll, Unjala. I think it's rather fitting that the 2 spellcasters go at the same time.
I'm going to try to roll a resolute to see if I can keep it up.
Okay, and you're rolling this time at -4.
Ooh, -4. That's a fail. So I break it. It just becomes too much for Unjala, and he and like leans up against the tree, and then pushes himself back up, and then realizes what he must do, and this is how he can contribute to this either the cleansing of the blight or cleansing of this rage troll from Davakar. So I'm going to cast it again. At -4 still?
Yep.
That is a success.
Okay. And you get your...
And I have 1 corruption, so I'm up to 5 temporary corruption.
Awesome. All right. So you managed to briefly lose concentration. Now, does that start next round, or does that pick right back up?
That's what the rule. It's kind of unclear. All right. So I'll. Set with these fire spirits, you set the close at best. The mystic calls spirits to his or her aid, and these transparent shapes attack an enemy. The target automatically fails all tests for concentration while using mystical powers. All other tests have a second chance to fail. The mystic must pass a resolute test each turn in order for the spirits to continue their attacks.
Okay.
So we can sort that out, however, but if you're rolling to maintain a spell, is it like concentration where?
Well, to me, in the rules, like your action is maintaining the spell.
Okay, all right. Then I will. Then the spell is broken, and I'll try again next turn.
Does that seem fair?
I think I'm unsure.
Well, yeah, we'll just do that right. We'll look at it after the game.
Sure.
Because I'm just like, if you just keep casting, I don't know. It's just like failure doesn't have a purpose. Then if you could just cast it again immediately.
You're right. Okay. So then I won't cast it. I'll remove the temporary corruption, and we'll be on with the day.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk after.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it is now Sweetum's turn.
So I have a big troll screaming in my face.
Yeah, he's screaming in your face. Looks like he's getting a little violent in your face.
A little violent in my face.
But he hasn't been violent to your face yet.
Well, I think in that I'm going to look around. I'm going to see where Sweetums is. I am Sweetums. I know that. I'm going to.
In his life.
he's going to look at Unjala. He's going to look where Kiln is. And he might try to pivot so that the thing is not facing them directly, if he can.
Mm-hmm.
And he might just he has no intention of trying to make it break its focus on him. He's just going to say, this is really not a very nice thing to do. You sure you want to be doing this? Didn't your grandmas tell you really shouldn't do this sort of thing?
Yeah, you are met by just an undefinable rage in your face.
That's very sad.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yes.
one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm. Sweetums. Sweetums might try to give him a hug.
Okay.
Just get so up in his business, it might be difficult for him to take a swat.
So it sounds to me like you're trying to grapple him, basically. Give him
Yeah, I think a
fight
grapple's
hug?
okay.
Yeah, okay. So that's going to be a strong versus strong. So
Okay.
give me a strong roll at a -5.
Okay, so if I have a 15, that means -5. I need to get 10 or below.
Yep.
Okay. Nope.
Yeah. So you reach out to try to give him a big fighting hug, and he just kind of like shoulders out of it.
That's very rude.
And yes, he spurned your hug.
I mean, you don't have to hug if you don't want a hug. But it's very rude.
That's what he said. That's what he did. He doesn't want to hug. Kiln, give me a quick vigilant.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers got hug. Success.
Okay. You couple things happen here as you're getting ready to draw a bead here. You think you hear some movement off to your right, like into the woods, kind of the direction where the troll came from. But you also see from your vantage point, you can kind of see you're kind of halfway up the hill, basically. It's not a very tall hill, but you can see the Church of Prios priests have almost completely now circled behind, and they're coming up behind the barbarians. And it just seems, I don't know, to you like that kind of rings odd, because it looked like they were just kind of moving up to support both Ambrians and the barbarians, but now the Prios people have kind of continued to move around instead of attacking the troll. So you just noticed that from your vantage point.
Tactically, does this look like they are moving for an aggressive action against the barbarians?
I mean, they haven't like a couple of them have bows that have been kind of shooting over the ranks of people, right? And at the troll. But it would seem that, everybody should be shooting, or they should be up with their long weapons. A couple of them look like they have pikes, but they're just continuing to move like throughout this whole action. They've continued like a couple of shots just to, almost like, hey, we're here. But they haven't made an aggressive action yet, but it doesn't really make sense to keep moving like that. Technically they could have, if they wanted to envelop it, they were already in a place to envelop it, right?
Right.
Instead of moving all the way around the other side to envelop it, which doesn't really make any kind of tactical sense. But I'm just saying that you just notice this movement of troops, and it just seems odd.
Okay. But I mean, this, as far as numbers go, Pruitt, are the priests more than the barbarians? Are they equal number, or are they?
Each host has anywhere from like 10 to 15 people in it, or at least it did at the beginning of this. The priesthood had like 10 priests, and there was their one leader, the guard minister Mero. And the Ambrians, they had a delegation of about 12. The barbarians had about 15. somewhere around there.
The barbarians have taken the most damage because they're up front, right?
They're up front, and also, I mean, you'd notice this troll came directly for the barbarians.
Right. The beeline that wasn't drawn off by my arrows and just kind of absently. Okay.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with it.
Okay. He's going to Kiln is going to contact Unjala and brother, watch the priests. And you said that I heard something coming from the direction where the troll was like shushed out of, right?
Originally came from, yeah, somewhere in that direction. It's just one of those things where there's all of this, and normally by this time all of the wildlife in the general area would have either been gone or hunkered down, and there's no movement. So it's just one of those things where you just hear a distinct snap of a twig somewhere off in the darkness that just stands out to you.
Okay. Can I take to stay in the trees and go from branch to branch to tree, like leaping high and try to kind of like Endor my way back towards where this sound is?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Are you trying to be stealthy about this, or are you trying to go for mobility?
Definitely being quiet.
Definitely doing discreet. Okay. I will say, at least for this round, if you just want to move, you can do a full move. Give me a discreet roll. That is modified. The discreet is going to be modified by your terrain, which is kind of moving in branches and stuff. So it's going to be at a -2.
I failed it. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you're just kind of moving in the branches. There's some motion. A couple of leaves fall. You're not sure if anybody heard you, but you know, like in your heart, you're like, I made some noise, right? But there's also a lot of noise behind you. So,
okay. Just for shits and giggles here, Pruitt, as he gets close to where he thinks after his full movement, I would like to use my shapeshifter ability, and I would like to become one of the priests.
you want to become one of the priests?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're using that ability. If it becomes important, we'll make the roll then, because I think you have to roll versus vigilant.
Yeah, it's I think it's the character succeeds with a discreet against my vigilant, or the other way around.
Yeah, it's your discreet against modified by their vigilant.
Okay.
All right, so we'll keep that in mind. Now, are you staying in the tree, or are you dropping to the ground as you do this?
I'm staying in the tree, but at the same time, it takes my clothing, it does everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as he would morph into a nondescript priest, he would just continue to look around, still with his changeling eyes, to see if anything pops up. But yeah, just a little bit more subterfuge.
Okay. In question, are you one last thing for my own imagination? Are you just one of the schmucks, just the normal priests, or the leader?
I am one of the normal schmucks.
Okay, cool. So just regular old priest. Gotcha. All right. So you move off into the darkness a bit and change your form. It is now it's time for the reach roll. So Sweetums, you got in this thing's way and you tried to grapple it a bit, but even you noticed this, like, whereas it was looking around furiously, it looked like it really wanted to get to your new friend Kiln, but you got in its way, but like it immediately, like that, its eyes kind of, instead of darting back and forth, kind of settle, and you can almost see a little haziness go back over it as it just kind of, and it just absent-mindedly just kind of shoos you out of the way, because it still has like a good 1.5 feet on you, and so it easily just kind of turns and just and turns and looks, And since you're standing right next to it, you can tell like it's looking directly at Markarian. And it turns to go to try to hit him again.
Oh, I'm going to take that hit.
Okay, so you're going to do a reaction
Yep.
to get in its way again?
Yep.
All right, so Troll versus Ogre. Two enter, one shall leave.
Nerds.
Okay.
Okay.
So this hit, you're going to be at a -5 for your defense on this.
Oh, it just automatically hits.
Oh, it automatically hits. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Totally.
it hits. There's no
So
chance it does not hit.
hang on. Let me roll my damage then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's going to be all right. So I rolled my damage. So go ahead and what are you enacting all your stuff? Are you going to do the tattoo again?
I'm not going to do the tattoo again. I did
Okay.
soak 5.
Okay, so you soak 5, but this thing was bringing a hammer fist down, and you kind of get in front of it with your arm, or however you want to get in front of it. But it hits you like in the shoulder,
Okay.
and you take 5 damage.
That goes to my strength.
No, it goes to your health, which is equivalent to your strong. Like whatever your strong is, that's how many hit points you have. And then half of that rounded up is your damage threshold. So is your damage threshold is higher than 5, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So it's a hard hit. You're going to feel this one in the morning, but you managed to get in its way.
Okay.
And so that is the Rage Troll's turn. But you're now basically kind of you're basically now like trying to interpose yourself between it and Markarian. And so it is now Honora's turn.
Okay. Well, not good at hitting anything.
Okay.
So.
Do the larva boils not keep going?
Yeah, they do keep going.
Okay.
Until, let me double check. Stuff. It continues until I fail a resolute, modified by strong test. So.
Oh, it's strong?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a -5.
Cool. All right. So try to figure. I'll just. Come on. Okay, let me just roll using my phone because apparently Roll20 does not want to roll for me. Do.
The whole internet is just being funky.
Yep, just decided it doesn't want to do. That is nope. Will not make that. Oh, there we go. Now Roll20 decides to, but doesn't matter. I rolled and it failed. So.
Yeah, you saw these little welts kind of coming up on its shoulders and arms, and then it's swinging around and they kind of burble a little bit more and kind of fizzle out as your magic doesn't quite bear maggotus fruit. Oh, God.
Okay.
Just a gross statement.
Yep.
Stop forcing me to describe things grossly.
I'm sorry, I'm a sorcerer. Yeah, I don't exactly want to get closer to this thing, so I'm gonna chill out over here. Yeah.
Okay. Good times. Unjala, it is back around to you.
All right. Well, he's going to, with determination, pry himself up off the tree, rear his shoulders back, and again cast Tormenting Spirits. Visigalagum with increased intent. And fail again. And I failed that one. Drat. And then that is my jam. And so now I'm up to 5 temporary corruption.
Alrighty. Alrighty, Sweetums. So this rage troll just knocked the crap out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's trying to get your boy Markarian. What do you do?
Nothing. That is what I do.
You do the neutral. You just stand in the way.
I stand in the way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I've taken a hit. I do not like that. I'm thinking it through and deciding whether to cry, as young children do sometimes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, this troll is being very mean to you.
Yes.
And actually, some of the other, like the barbarians, they come up and they're like sticking, their spears at it. A few arrows come whistling and bouncing off its hide and everything. And even
Actually, I take that back. He's going to say something which is taken directly from Trogdor Burninator when somebody beamed him on the head with a block today. He's going to say, "You hurt my body. It's not okay to hurt my body."
You wouldn't like it when you hurt my body.
I'm very proud of him for saying that, by the way. It's a good thing to say.
Hey, it was a very adult response.
It is.
As a matter of fact, it was to the point.
Yes. You can't do that. It's not okay.
You just can't.
Don't do that.
Well, I'm not sure. You're not sure if the rage troll heard you, but he's still screaming.
Yes.
And you do notice a few arrows coming in, Sweetums, and one actually kind of hits you in the back. But since your soak was 5, it didn't matter. But you did get hit in the back by an arrow.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh. And he might call out, "Be careful of where you shoot the arrows. I'm not the troll. Please be careful."
Yeah, you hear one of the priests in the back. Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. So it is back around top of the initiative. Kiln. You're in the trees. You're dressed like you're looking like a priest.
Yep.
Walking in the treetops.
What do I see? What do my priest eyes see, Pruitt?
Give me a vigilant. This is going to be at -3 because it is kind of dark, but being away from the moon, from the torchlight a little bit of the camp actually kind of helped you out here. Kind of gives way to the moonlight kind of leaking through the trees.
Success.
You're pretty sure you see movement. A good, if this was Cypher, it'd be a long distance, about 100 feet further into the tree line. Not moving necessarily away from you, but as you're kind of moving out into the tree, like not quite perpendicular, but somewhere in, I forgot what that would be. Anyway, at a diagonal angle away from you. But it looks like they're kind of moving further around. You're not sure if this person sees you or not. It isn't like a flight of prey or anything. It looks like just standard movement, but you're pretty sure it's just one person.
Okay. Will the trees allow me to get closer?
It will allow you to get about halfway there, but that's when the breakage in the tree lines kind of it gets a little bit more broken. So you can move about half your full movement there, but after that, it's going to be very difficult to stay in the trees.
If I go to the ground, can I make it within like visual acute? Like, can I bring them into focus if I get to go to the ground?
If you go directly to the ground and then want to sneak over, yeah, you could probably get at least close enough to see them. Yes.
That's what I will do then.
Okay. All right. So go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead and give me that discrete roll. going to be at a. This one's just going to be at a -1.
Okay, I rolled a success, and I do have a +1 because of Shadow Spawn. So I should be able to use that since it is dark enough for me to blur into all of that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, you think you have snuck up on whoever it is. They're probably about 30 feet away, slowly moving. Again, now you're kind of tailing them, but it looks like they're kind of moving around the circumference of this hillock, and getting a better look at. I mean, like looking over, you can see the battle between this troll and Sweetums, and all the Ambrians and Barbarians kind of around these two giants as the trolls just kind of beating on Sweetums. But it looks like this person is focusing all of their intent and will that direction.
Can I shoot him with an arrow?
No, that was a lot. You used everything pretty much moving and following and kind of tracking them.
Okay.
But yeah, you're well within range to shoot them next round for sure.
Okay, yeah. So he's just going to observe for the rest of the time. And let me see. What's my range on this? I think I can communicate. Yeah, I do not have to see. So I would send a message to Unjala that says, I think there's someone in here of your bent, brother. And the feeling you would get from that would be concern.
I'm kind of predisposed with Sweetums at the moment. I do not want him to fall to this troll.
Beep. I'm sorry. Kyon is not here right now. He is busy staring at somebody he believes to be a threat.
Please leave a message after the beep. All right. So Kiln, that was you. Rage Troll. Once again, this thing is trying to hit the crap out of Markarian. Like he's trying to like push past you, Sweetums. So give me a strong test at a -5.
Okie doke. I rolled a 2.
Rolled a 2. Okay, so with one hand, he kind of tried to swipe you out of the way, but you managed to hold that. So now he's like literally trying to like reach over you and like smash Markarian. So he's trying to hit. Are you gonna do your thing again?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Well, then he is gonna hit you. 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your
All right, so I didn't do the magic runes yet this time, but I rolled really well. I got an 8.
Got an 8? Okay, so you soak 8 damage, so you only take 4.
Okay.
As once again he kind of like swings around and kind of hits you in the back because you just kind of stay there and kind of puff up a bit, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of blocking him from getting to Markarian. And it's getting kind of hard to stand here because this thing has like, he's been cut so much by just pikes and spears, like in his shoulders and arms,
Mm-hmm.
and arrows, in his neck and head.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually, Sweetums, it's getting a little difficult to like hang on to him.
Bloody.
Yeah, because it's just you're now like bloodied up wrestlers, and it's getting kind of messy there.
Okay.
So anyway, that's the troll. So Honora, it is you and then Angela.
All right. We're gonna try the thing again. We're gonna try lava boil again.
Okay.
And try to make that happen again. Jesus. I'm gonna invoke my sorcerer ability. When I fail in an attempt to use a power, I may try again. Trying to roll against my total corruption value. which is currently a 6, but would like to just roll that again. 20. And that will be a crit success.
Oh, hey now. Did you hear that, Mom? He's got boils.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so you managed to cast larva boil on this thing again. Once again, his skin kind of burbles and wobbles and wavers as these things start pushing up from within. Unjala.
Right. It's going to take 1 point, and because I used that ability, I have to roll an additional 1d4 of temporary corruption.
Nice. Here we go. And so what are you up to now?
It will be, I'm just going to roll on this. It's, that's total of 6 above what I have right now.
And what do you have right now?
That is,
Are you above your corruption threshold?
yes, I am.
Okay, so you have become blighted.
Woo!
So, yeah, you speak these arcane words as you pull chaos into order and to bend it to your will. And you feel a slight tinge of pain as from your temples. You feel like much like the boiling and burbling on this thing's shoulders, except these are just 2 points, and your skin kind of parts as these horns come pushing through your scalp. Except they aren't horns; they are twisted branches that kind of stick up about 6 inches of your head, and you just have these small trickles of blood down your temples where these things are protruding out. But definitely the people around you, like, their eyes go wide, those that were near you. There were some archers and kind of, porters and, torchbearers, henchmen in the background. And they kind of part a little bit and give you about another 2 or 3 feet of space. As you can feel the energy around you. It's palpable, like it's just like copper, a copper taste in the air. And Unjala, you taste this also. Like you know the taste of someone who has been blighted. It is near. Yes. The very air is like licking a battery. And so yeah, that's what happens to Honora.
So leaning up against the tree,
Yeah.
Unjala will call to Sweetums. Sweetums, I need you. Come to me. And then in the direction that he was being communicated with by Kiln, like where the priests were, he's going to look in that direction and say, Junto, and will catch witch sight again in the direction of the priests.
In the direction of the priests, or the direction that Kiln was?
And trying to scan the direction where Kiln was insinuating that I look.
Okay.
He said keep an eye on the priests like 2 turns ago, and then he told me to look at something else recently.
Okay, yeah, no, that's what I want to say, because he did tell you over the last 2 turns to look at 2 different things. So I just want to make sure. Priests are over here. He's out here somewhere. Are you looking towards him?
The battlefield's fluid. There's a lot of information.
There's a lot of moving parts here. So from where you are, if you look to your left, that's where the priests are. If you kind of look to your right, that's where Kiln messaged from. So battlefield or woods?
Woods. Okay.
So in the woods, I will say this, with your witch sight, you see that black tendril of some like smoke coming off of it. It almost looks like barbed wire as it kind of twists in between the trees and weaves its way, not really touching anything, but it kind of moves off. That's what you see, it move off in that direction. And if you were to follow it, you would follow it back to the troll.
Okay. And I can't look in the direction of the priests while I have these cool eyes.
I mean, yeah, if you would like to, sure, yeah.
Yes, I'm also there.
Yeah, I tell you what, give me a vigilant as you're looking out over the priests and everything. Give me a vigilant at a -6.
All right. What is my vigilant? Oh yeah, that's a success.
That's a success.
By 1, but it's a success.
Okay. Most of the priests, they don't really have corruption about them. I mean, they're mostly holy, pious people. Their leader, however, from this distance, it's kind of hard to tell, so it's kind of difficult. But what you see in him, you see a dark, like a jade green thread of marble about him. There's a stoicism. What's the word I'm looking for? He's very, like, his essence is stolen, right? It is almost unmoving, but it is definitely cracked, and in those cracks are the edges of corruption peeking out. It is an odd essence to look upon for sure.
And he will revert back. So just to reiterate, the thread from the rage troll going into the woods,
Mhm.
and then the marble column from the priest.
Yes.
And then after he will, if using a free action, communicate with Kiln telepathically. The leader of the priests. Something is amiss. There are cracks in his shadow.
Beep. I'm sorry, Kiln is not here right now. He's staring at stuff. You would receive back. Something is wrong with the priests. By the way, do not shoot any priests you see in the woods.
I can't shoot anything. I have a stick.
You have those eyes that look like flashlights. It's discerning.
It's an app.
There is an app for that. Okay.
And let me see how much corruption I take from that. Only 1. Yippee!
Yay! You don't get horns or glowing eyes or phosphorus breath or.
Not yet, I don't.
Yeah, you'll all get there eventually. All right, so, Sweetums, you are still there.
Yes.
This troll is bloody from 1,000 cuts. It's right before you. It's still trying to get to Markarian.
Mhm.
What would you like to do?
Well, I heard Unjala, and I'm going to say to Markarian, be careful, my friend, I have to go. But care about you and be strong. And he will hoof it to Unjala if he can.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're just gonna run past him, like the troll doesn't even like take a swipe at you.
Yep.
Like you're getting out of the way and getting so he can get to his target.
Yes.
And so he's gonna move forward. So you're running over to Unjala.
Yes. What do you need, my friend?
What?
You called me.
Oh,
I'm here now.
you are.
Yes.
Can you lift me up on your shoulders?
Well, maybe one of them. The other one is fairly seriously injured.
Let me help it.
Okay. It's not going to sting, is it?
Probably.
Oh no!
It's the good kind of sting.
Is there a good kind of sting? That
Let me
doesn't
show
sound like the
you.
truth.
Let me show you on my turn.
There's no good kind of steak. It's all bad steaks.
I mean, that is the way it is. It's a lie.
It is.
Okay, so you move over there, and looks like you're gonna do some healing or whatever. Kiln, you are, like I said, you're about 30 feet away from this person. They have slowed their pace, and actually, you hear the heavy footsteps of Sweetums, and this figure who's out in the darkness. Looks like they're wearing some kind of grayish tunic, very simple. It's solid wear for traveling at night, but they stop moving once Sweetums moves away, and you kind of see them sit there, and you see one of their hands now that they've stopped moving is kind of not extended completely towards the troll, but there's a hand out, and looks like they're focusing.
I'd like to shoot that hand if I could, Pruitt.
Okay,
I mean, why not, right?
why not?
That is a hit with 1 massive damage, but I get to roll an extra d10. Oh, it's 11 total damage with that strike.
11 total damage. All right. All right. You see a flash of light as your arrow travels through the air, and it looks like it hits some kind of barrier, some kind of magic barrier, but it pierces through it, and you do hit this guy in his hand. He does not drop his hand, though. He keeps his hand extended out and shaking, but he turns his head just a bit and flicks his eyes over at you. And give me a vigilant roll. This is going to be at a -2 because of just kind of where he stopped. He's not completely in the light.
Still a success.
Still a success. What you do see, it looks like he maintains his focus, his concentration on whatever he's doing with his hand extended towards the troll. But what you do see, he looked like a typical maybe an Ambrian scholar with his robes. Now that you got a little closer to him, you're not sure if you saw him with the main party or not, but he is dressed as an Ambrian, except what you see is, and you would know this as a changeling, you see a ripple kind of go from head to foot when you hit him with the arrow. And that ripple revealed for a split second like a flash of bluish, maybe yellowish skin at some parts on his face, and his clothes looked a little different, a little ragged, darker. But the illusion as it is kind of reasserts itself, and he kind of lets out some jagged, kind of ragged breaths as he looks around, and he kind of barks a word out, kind of as a reaction.
I'll fire that second shot if I can.
Okay.
I don't intend to move for this round.
All right.
And that is, why does it look like that? That's a success. Another damage of 1, though. Let me roll my d10 though. So 4 total with that attack.
What did you roll on your d20? Because now that he is aware of you, his actual defense comes into play.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you would have been fine then.
So yeah, that one would do an additional 3 damage as Killen would fire off the shot.
So what was the total damage on that arrow?
Total damage on that arrow was 3. The first arrow
3?
was first arrow was 11, second one was 3.
Yeah, so this arrow slams into whatever that magical shield was.
Sorry, 4.
Yeah. It's still that's still the arrow kind of hits and splinters some layer of magic in front of him and around him. And so he's now just kind of like looking at you with the hand extended out towards the main battle. There is a look of fear in his eyes and a bit of surprise.
He'll just pull another arrow out and get ready to fire it again.
Yeah,
If he wants to keep his hand up, he can. But
okay. It is actually now he lets out a bark, an order. You're not sure what language it is, but he lets that out, and then he begins to move away from you. He is more moving for cover instead of trying to run away, and so he kind of moves about 20 feet away from you and behind some other trees. So now your line of sight is blocked from him. In the action. And the Rage Troll continues its assault. Okay. So you hear a sharp cry, and Sweetums, you would know this voice best. It is Markari. It looks like he just got hit like really bad. And you can hear the barbarians kind of rallying around him, trying to get him back out of the front lines, and he's still like fighting him. Like Honora, you would see this as well, like from your vantage. Like he's trying to fight his men to keep going, but he can barely heft his axe at this point. Some of the Ambrians are some of the Ambrians are breaking, like basically just running away from this thing. The barbarians are kind of holding their ground, and the church folk are kind of in a second rank to the barbarians, kind of right behind them. And so that is the movement from that. Honora, it is your turn.
Ooh. Well, I guess we're just going. Well, first I have to do a resolute strong, affect by strong roll for the damage to continue going.
Okay. Yep. So that's a -5.
Yep. Nope, that's a fail anyways. Jesus.
It's rough.
Actually, I'm gonna invoke that sorcery ability again. I try to roll into my total corruption, which is pretty fucking high right now.
Need another hit. Just one more hit.
Yep, that's a success now.
Okay. So you managed to maintain it?
Yep, and I'll take 4 points of damage.
Oh, the troll will?
Yep.
Okay.
So okay.
So he, these things start pushing through his skin. He's, whether or not he feels it, it doesn't really look like he's showing, but I mean, you've seen this guy stabbed, I don't know, 100 times now, and he's still just kind of going. And so
yeah, I'm just adding to what is happening here, and keeping my distance. So a question. One of my that reroll ability is my adept sorcerer ability, but my novice one it activates every time I receive corruption. Would this count, even when I suffer an additional 1d4 because of my reroll? So when I reroll, I gain 1d4 extra corruption on top of whatever corruption I get from the powers. But my novice ability allows me to try to roll and reduce it down to 1 corruption. So, am I able to invoke that or not?
Yes, it seems like you do.
Cool. Wasn't sure.
Well, that's the only thing about all of the different kinds of mystic traditions is they all interact with it very differently.
Yep.
So
okay. So I got to roll resolute and see if I only gain 1 instead of whatever I would normally get. Yep, that's a success. Only 1 point of corruption.
Yay! Okay, well, that's good. Can't
Yeah.
have you going full anathema.
Nope, not yet.
No, a second game. Okay. Unjala, it is your turn.
He did Sweetums up to pick me up, or are we just side by side?
Sweetums, did you pick up Unjala?
I can pick you up and I can hold you on my hip like a toddler, but I can't actually get you on my shoulders
Okay.
because one of my shoulders is hurt.
He'll he'll look up at you and do you wish to continue fighting the troll?
I mean, not. He seems really angry and like he's messing up my friend, but you know, it's what do you want to do, Unjala? I'm here for you, ultimately.
That troll is causing a lot of problems.
Yes. Yes,
It needs to be put down. Do you trust the barbarians to do so? They seemed quite inept thus far.
They're not. They seem like they can, but I just heard my friend and he seems really hurt and he's the leader of them. Not quite sure what'll happen if something happens to him. No.
He is grown. He can make his own choices.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I haven't been around very long, but to be honest, I've been with a lot of people who haven't made it very far, and he's one of the only ones I've known who's still around.
Your shoulder will have to hurt a little longer, and then he will...
It's a bad sting.
lean up. He will lean up, like rest his body weight on Sweetums, reach his hand out. Do not fail me this time, spirits, and will cast again tormenting spirits on the rage troll. So let me roll that resolute test.
All right.
Same minus
-4.
Number 2 is what I got, which is a success.
All right. Yeah, you managed to block whatever influence is on the rage troll, and sure enough, it of course like and when you break it this time, it has been stuck a few times since last time. You can tell like its yells and screams are getting a little bit slurred now as it kind of looks around, and it's just like and it's kind of lazily swiping as some of the ire is kind of taken out of it.
And I'm just going to focus and kind of squeeze, and all the spirits that are through this forest will just be like...
Oh, and I keep rolling for the weather, and y'all, it's weird how I keep rolling. Ooh. So yeah, as you kind of cast that, like thunder rolls in the background. Like the sky had kind of cleared from the rain before all this started, and you could see the stars, but thick gray clouds are rolling in now, as there's just kind of thunder and lightning. You don't smell any rain, Kiln or Unjala, like on the horizon. It's just looks like the sky has something it wants to say. And also, Kiln, around this time, you just hear in the distance, you're not sure the language, but it certainly sounded like a curse. Certainly sounded like a fuck around this time.
It's a good time for that.
Yeah. And Sweetums, it is your turn.
How long does it take to do a healing check? Like do like a medicine kit? Is that a turn-based thing or is it a longer thing?
I mean, if you wanted to do it in combat, it would be kind of quick and dirty.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say that you probably, yeah, you could, sure.
Okay.
I mean, if it's not magic, if it's just like a healing check, I kind of see that as something outside of combat. But I mean, you could slap a quick bandage around your shoulder right quick. You just
Okay.
need to reset it after combat for it to fully take effect.
Okay. Then I might do that. I might like slap a poultice on it or something.
Yeah. You know, you
Yeah.
got like some slugs in a pouch or something you just slap on there. It's like-
Ew. That's gross. All right. That's what I'm going to do.
anesthetic.
So I'm going to do, and I heal back 5.
Okay.
And
So you do a quick medicus check
Yes.
on your shoulder, and you realize mostly what it was is you realize it was slightly out of socket, and you just kind of pop your shoulder back in. And you're like, oh, that's much better. That's why you couldn't really move your arm that well.
I do a trademark Pruitt, just stick the thing that's dislocated back into where it's supposed to be.
You just kind of hit it on a tree like Mel Gibson. And
I'm never doing anything like Mel Gibson ever.
oh, sorry, my bad.
Fuck Mel Gibson. Somebody get that on a clip. Fuck Mel Gibson. Okay. Anyway, but yes, that's what I do.
All right. So yeah, you just pop your shoulder back in on a tree.
Yes.
I've done it on a wall. I've never done it on a tree though.
That's what he said.
Boom! Oh my god. So, Unjala, you watch Sweetums knock half the leaves off of a tree as he kind of slams his shoulder into it, and you hear a sound, what sounds like a limb crack. Now we're back out to you, Kiln. This person, whoever they are currently about 20, 30 feet away, hiding behind a large tree.
All right, let's put some stank on this one.
Yeah.
So Kiln, with the arrow already done, he smells that this person is basically trying to buy more time. There's a distraction going on, a very big one in the camp, and he needs to know why, but he also needs that distraction to stop. So with a little bit of Matrix flavor here, he's going to run, jump off a tree, and as he leaps through the air, he's going to take a shot at this thing as soon as he clears the distance. I can only take one, but he's going to take a shot regardless as soon as he sees the person come into. He knows that they have to, in all likelihood, they're keeping some kind of either visual contact or spatial contact with the troll because of the hand that was up. So he's going to pop out on the same side where that hand would be up so he can fire with relative surety that there's going to be somebody there that's going to take an arrow in the face.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. So go ahead and give me that that roll, and that's going to be modified. I mean, he does know you are there, but he was counting mostly on the tree, so this is only going to be at a -2.
Okay, does my acrobatics help at all with this?
Yeah, I would say your acrobatics would come into play here because this is you basically leaping, so your footsteps don't give you away, I assume, as you approach. So yeah, I would say, I tell you what, give me a quick roll.
A quick roll. I can do that. It's a failure unless I'm allowed to use my Shadow Stepper, which gives me a +1.
If you would like.
If you allow that, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just if you're in like most like darkness, right?
Yeah,
out here it's mostly just moonlight. I mean there is enough to see by, but it is still dark. So yes, I would say your Shadow Stepper ability applies.
Then just a success.
Yeah, so you leap out and you clear the tree, and sure enough, this guy's kind of in the nook of two trees that are grown together, and he's trying to hold his hand up, and it looks like he's trying to push through something, like he's focusing really hard, and you kind of clear the tree, and you see his eyes go a little wide.
Focus harder. He's going to shoot. Is this a modified -2?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a hit with a 7. and it'll be 2 plus 6 for a total of 8 damage.
Total of 8 damage. All right. So what does this look like?
If it's a kill shot, he's going to nail his hand to his face. If it's not, he's going to nail his hand to his face.
Okay, yeah. So you could see where he's he looks like he broke the other arrow off. He still had like the piece of the haft with the arrowhead sticking out. But you managed to Robin of Locksley that shit. So you actually pushed the first arrow and the second arrow like into his and he Greg Kiln sees this guy change to his natural form before his knees even give out. Like you literally arrow straight through the eye with his hand just kind of holding it up there, and he completely shifts. He has like a dark bluish skin with accents of yellow around the eyes and the mouth and at the base of the ears. And he's wearing kind of roguish clothes, dark. They're not the best quality, but it looks like it's more because of utility, not of price. Like it looks like this is someone who just lives rough. But yeah, that is what you see as he kind of his knees hit the ground and he falls forward. You know, so you're standing over this dead body now.
Given any free action, because I've used my everything, he would just telepathically to his brother, I murdered someone in the forest. I'm hoping it was an enemy.
Sure of something like that?
Beep. I'm sorry, Kiln is busy right now cleaning up a murder. He's going to prepare with the length of silk rope that he has. He's going to prepare to kind of predator hoist this body into the trees in case like it's a priest or somebody he knows or a dear friend to I don't know, keep the hand of the law from killing him. So
all right. So you're going to move to do that.
Can Unjala communicate back?
I mean, I think it just offers isn't it kind of like message where you can just like talk and then get a response?
It's a simple. I'm being.
Yeah.
It's a simple phrase or a feeling or both, and so there'd be a touch of concern.
Yeah. So I mean, y'all can on your turn you can do a there and back again, so to speak. You can Bilbo it. So those of y'all in the camp, you see the troll. It is still the same. It is just now lashing out, kind of lazily through kind of a blood haze. But at this point, it's just who's going to get the killing shot, pretty much. As the barbarians are still trying to pull their leader back. He suffered, it looks like a pretty grievous wound. And it is Anora's turn.
Okay, gonna roll to see if I hold on to that lava boil. I do not. Wow. Okay, rolls. Want to attempt fate? Yeah, I'm gonna attempt fate. I'm gonna fucking use that again. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine. There's a total corruption value. Nope. I have to actually roll that. 1d20. Nope. Okay, it's fine.
Okay. How are you on corruption?
Well, I'm gonna roll for my other sorcery ability and hopefully only take 1. Nope, that's a crit fail. Jesus Christ. That's only one additional one anyway, so it's fine.
What are you at right now as far as corruption?
15
You're at 15.
total. Yeah,
Wait, what's your
my
value?
threshold's 8.
No. I know what your threshold is 8. What's your resolute though?
My resolute's a 15.
And you're at 15 corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, this is fine.
Well, Kiana, as Honora
Mm-hmm.
is casting the spell,
Yep.
it is actually your skin that starts to burble and change and undulate. Yeah, you go full abomination.
Whoops.
When a person's corruption, both permanent and temporary, reaches their casting value, you have succumbed to the darkness. It is the fine line that all sorcerers ride.
Yeah.
Actually, anyone who
I actually totally forgot about that, but I'm accepting it. It's fine.
yeah. But here's the thing: as this troll is slowly dying, Honora begins to grow ever so slightly as her back starts to arch and hunch, and her arms and legs begin to elongate, and then her fingers on top of that elongate, and her skin kind of turns pallid white, and it begins to like wrinkle and sag, and she is no longer what could be described as human, as your hair kind of starts falling out. Yeah, you basically turn into what would kind of be considered like a giant hag a little bit. And you're in the middle of all these sweet little mortals. I will let you continue to play your character, but now you are a full abomination.
Oh, that's fun.
And all life is antithetical to what you think and believe, as your eyes are completely just black all over.
Cool.
And you don't have to worry about any kind of corruption now, so you can cast, whatever spell you want at this point.
Yep.
Without so that's interesting.
How do you feel about barters?
How do I feel about what?
Barters.
Borders?
Barter.
Oh, barters.
Let's have a discussion, Pruitt. Let's just sit back for a second.
It's
Okay.
a good bookstore.
Okay. What is? Yeah, we'll have a discussion of a barter here before we close out tonight's session, because this is an interesting spot, I think, as everything hangs in the balance. What's up?
Okay, so on this sprite, this pixie that I had just recently healed, traded.
Oh yeah. Debo Bodhi.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a way or a trade that I could use the inherit wounds ability on someone I do not know, but as a threat to the scene, to inherit corruption?
You want to channel Honora's corruption to stave off her becoming an abomination.
Seeing the second threat, Unjala would almost, as of like gazing through the shadows and seeing the shadows of all the beings around, would have this is new, and he would have a general idea of what has happened, perhaps.
Oh, no. I've always, every time that Kiana has gotten closer and then became blighted, that's why I've always made sure to let you know, because you can kind of taste that. So you've been feeling this imbalance in the force, so to speak, rising from right over there, and you're pretty sure it's that person. You're not entirely sure with all the chaos and corrupt and whatever. But yeah, now it's pretty obvious. There's somebody over there that had some like branch antlers, and now it looks like they're starting to succumb to the abominable influences of corruption. So yeah, since y'all do go on the same turn, I will allow you to try to inherit some of her corruption, but this is going to be a resolute versus resolute. So Kiana, what's your resolute? 15?
15.
Yeah, so it's going to be at a -5.
Right. And so -5 to my resolute roll.
Now, are you going to go over there and try to touch Kiana? Because I will say that you're close enough to at least move over and touch Honora, excuse me, because it will be at -5 there. But if you try to do it at a distance, then the DC it's going to be slightly higher. You're going to be at a -7.
I'm a gambling man. So I want to go for the better DC and get closer.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and give me that. You're at a -5 as you walk over as Honora has started transformation.
So I rolled a 5, which is a pass.
You rolled a 5, which is a pass. So go ahead and give me how much would you normally inherit? Like, isn't it a D4, D6?
D6.
So give me a D6 roll.
I think the wormwood sign is a 6.
Are you looking at a 1 right now?
No, the one's on the other side.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a
So
6.
it's a 6.
Mhm.
So I inherit 6 units.
So yeah, you reach out, and as Honora's like screaming in this transformation, you reach out into that maelstrom of chaos and find her hand, and you pull it and pull her out of that form as the edges of that form that she was adopting kind of crumble like glass as she kind of steps out of it. And you inherit 6 corruption. Does that take you above your blight marked limit? Is that above your corruption threshold?
Nope. I have 2 to go. I'm at
Okay,
13.
so you're still good. This does not feel good. You're pretty close.
But I've definitely sorry. My resolute is 15. I'm at a 13. So my
no. Okay.
My threshold has been passed.
Yeah, you're past your threshold. So this is bad. So here's what happens as you take her hand and pull her out of this construction that she is becoming, right? As the wind is whipping around and everybody's running away screaming, you feel your forehead begin to split in 2 places. And you feel these little antlers stick out, all twisted and gnarled. And you realize, like, no, they're not antlers. They are branches. And it looks like they match Honora's. As you pull her out of this construct finally, and y'all both tumble to the ground. As the image of this hag thing that Honora was becoming. And Honora, you see this thing the moment before it turns into just like glass particles and just falls to the ground in a pile.
Unjala will like he looks maimed, like he can't move, like he's stricken with like this odd anxiety, and his body locks up, and he looks over and he struggles to breathe. What have you done?
And I think she's probably like probably pulling herself up from just being pulled by all these forces.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not sure, but that was interesting. Seems I owe you a debt.
Ooh, I get to roll on this table.
fully on that table, Pruitt.
Okay, as you're sitting there, like seriously, thunder was rolling in, and you start to hear the tink, tink, tink in the leaves, and you're like, oh my god, it's gonna fucking rain again. Except when you start to feel them on your body, and everybody around there, you realize this is not rain, but various kinds of teeth, carnivorous teeth, incisors, just teeth are raining from the sky. And it does so for a few minutes. One thing you do notice, though, is in all of this chaos is the troll finally succumbs to the horde as they stab it enough, and it falls to the ground on all fours. And once it's there, this is about the time that Anjala and Anara are having this exchange, and the teeth start raining. And it's a very odd scene. Do you have any last things that y'all want to say to one another before we close out tonight?
Unjala is going to look up in the sky and kind of gaze into the rain of teeth, and let's just say the balance.
Yeah, and Sweetums, you look over and you see your friend Markarian laying on the ground, and he does not look good.
I'm going to run over to him, and if I can heal him, I will try. Is he awake?
Yeah, you get over there, and unfortunately, Mama Banny had gone ahead to prepare the rituals, so their healers are not here, and so they know that you have some of the touch, so they move aside and let you come up to him.
Okay.
And you get up there and pull out your bandages and look down, and you can see like the top half of his sternum, like you can just feel it. It's pretty much not there in any kind of supporting fashion.
Okay.
Like he took a big hit. And he looks up at you with kind of wide eyes and meets your gaze. And he kind of spits some blood out. Sweet.
Yes. I'm here.
You must see. The peace must go forth.
Yes.
And he like looks up at you and puts a hand on your cheek shakily, and he looks you right in the eyes, and he just says, "Don't let it end this way." And then his hand drops away from you.
Is he dead, Pruitt?
He's dead, Jim.
Dead, Jim. Damn it, Jim! I'm an ogre, not an escalator.
And that is where we will leave off tonight. As the reign of teeth herald the end of Markarian, leader of the Vajvod.
Pure Pruitt, if I may, I was just going to say that in the woods, Kiln is just getting finished pulling and hoisting up the body as the teeth start to fall, and he puts a hand out as the teeth bounce off, and it ends with him just, is he fucking teeth? He has no clue what's going on.
And there we are. So that is the end of the session tonight. Wow. Yeah, that was a lot of fighting.
Ooh, yeah, this is there is some resource management required to play this system.
Definitely. But hey, that is we're still learning the system, so I'm sure we'll be able to move things along as we move forward. I love the bargain there at the end. I'm always up for that.
I'm still waiting to hear the final repercussions because
we'll go over that at the beginning of next session as we get to the next morning, basically. So that is where we're going to leave it. Let's run around right quick to cast and crew, see how they liked it, and see what's what. We always do reverse order. So, Greg, the Stalker in the Night, Kiln, how was that?
I had a blast. I was extremely nervous for every other member of the party. This is a complete shift from Starward Bound, where I was only ever worried about Elry. But this, I mean, everybody else was tough and shit, and now everybody's growing antlers and branches, and Sweetums is getting the absolute shit kicked out of him, and that was a very good Symbaroum fight that just lets you know death is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. It was great. The whole setup is good. I'm really interested in how the story is going to go down now. A lot of intrigue, a lot of hints dropped, and then of course, Steve said in chat, that's the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth. So we'll have to get to the bottom of that. Jack 21502. Yeah. Jack 21502 on the Twitch. Join me over there, see what's going on. But join all these fine folks for all the wonderful endeavors that they are undertaking, and meet us back here next Tuesday as we decide. I don't know what we decide. It's just going to be fun. Be here.
Yeah, now it's just going to be a bunch of tooth puns. You can't handle the tooth. All right, Emma, Sweetums got. I mean. It turns out you can survive for a few rounds against a troll.
I can. I wasn't even trying as hard as I could.
Yeah,
most of it.
You got really lucky with my rolls too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I did. But yes, that was fun. I was never worried for Sweetums. I was very worried for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the moment at the end. It was super cool. Yeah. I am Emma. I'm the comms director for WebDM. Watch our video tomorrow. It's about cheating in your D&D games.
Yeah, it's gonna be
which we include dice fudging. It's gonna be spicy, so you should watch it. Yes, I can't think of anything else to say because damn strawberry juice is taking my brain. I'm equally unprepared for this as I was in the beginning.
All right.
So there we go. I love you all.
And we love you. Billy, how are you doing over there, Mr. Big Sacrificer?
Hello. I'm glad I was able to fill the potential cavity that would have been lost with Kiana's character potentially leaving, potentially becoming something far worse. But I had 2 more puns, but they're gone because I'm.
Well, you transferred that cavity to all the teeth falling down. So
yeah. This was crazy. This combat system is brutal. I kind of designed my character to be a support character, so I'm not really good without anyone else. But I love the system. The whole, like, everything is so great. All these people are so great. So excited to play again for next week. See what's going to happen. And you can follow me at Build the Forest if you want. If you don't want to, that's cool. I don't care. Man, good job, Prue. Great work.
Thank you. And last but not least, the one going super evil Nova herself, Kiana. How was that to come so close to?
It was so. I did tell everybody that I was going to go as hard as I could with this character. Combining that with Dylan learning the system and how corruption works leads to this.
It adds up fast.
I mean, I knew about the threshold thing. I forgot about hitting resolute as a thing. So I totally forgot. But I was going to be totally fine with Honora just disappearing after episode 2. But I'm very grateful to Billy for sacrificing some of his purity to not have Honora turn into an abomination in episode 2. But yeah, this was really interesting. I'm really enjoying kind of learning the system and learning it with these lovely, very patient people as I try to figure out how the fuck to roll things in this game. But yeah, excited for next time. But until then, y'all can find me over on Twitter at Kenna S. It's the best way to figure out what I do, because I do all sorts of tabletop stuff. You can catch me over on my channel, Salty Sweet Games, every weekend. We have a Witcher campaign and we have a Max of Nyarlathotep campaign. And starting this upcoming Sunday, we have a Ross Rifles miniseries, which is a Canadian World War One Powered by the Apocalypse game. So we are kind of having a little fun miniseries with the actual designers themselves to showcase this cool game. Yeah, but can't wait to be here next time and see what happens next now that I have a cool branch antlers. Super aesthetic. Goes with the whole look.
Well, most definitely. Yeah, there'll definitely be some scars after this, for sure. Everybody, I'm Pruitt from One Half of WebDM. Please check our show out tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. Also, I can't wait until our secret thing isn't secret anymore, but I'm just going to say that. That's all I'm going to say. We've only, right? I mean, I can say that, right, Emma? I've already said it. I mean,
Oh, the thing that we're doing?
Yeah, the secret thing.
The secret thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be out pretty soon and it won't be a secret anymore.
Anyway, so I can't wait for y'all to shit your pants alongside all of us, which I think you will do. Anyway, want to give one last shout out to Tabletop Loot. Head over to tabletoploot.com, WebDM15, get you 15% off of dice, mugs, t-shirts, all that fun stuff. Give them some love because we love them because they're lovely people. And so I want all of y'all to be lovely in your games this week. And when you do, may those dice ever roll in your favor.